Hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. This is part 2 of my opinions on the state of the women's division in WWE. My first video was about Raw. This one will be about SmackDown Live and hopefully NXT. We'll see what running time, I get to when I'm done with SmackDown Live. But I'm basically giving my opinions on each woman on the roster. I wrote them all down, active women. And I'll talk about a couple women that are on the SmackDown page that maybe aren't in the ring anymore. But this is really just me giving my opinions, like, hey, what's going to happen possibly in 2018? Where do I see things going, just as a long-time wrestling fan? I want to give a shout out to Avalena Tweets. Check out her video that she recently did. I am recording this the 24th of November, but she put it up very, very recently on this day that I'm recording. Giving her thoughts on the recent NXT call-ups. Ruby Riott, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, that she gave her opinions on that, and her thoughts on Peyton Royce and Billie Kay staying in NXT. So check out that video; it's really, really good. For this, I'm going to give my thoughts on just the SmackDown Live roster and see where the time takes me. So Becky Lynch, I really hope that Becky Lynch tastes gold again, even if they maybe possibly put her on Raw. I mean, I don't know if they will. They could, of course, do a roster shakeup at any point. They will probably wait until after Mania to do that, which is fine, and that's a pretty good idea. But Becky Lynch, as great as she is, and she really is great. She's a great person. She's a great talent. She's talented as hell in the ring. Absolutely, and I'm just saying, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, love the Irish accent. Love just, the fire that she has. I mean, that's not a pun. That's not a play on words. I mean, she's literally got such a fire and a passion for wrestling. She seems so damn likable. So I hope that Becky Lynch does very, very well in 2018. She certainly deserves it. Deserves to taste gold at some point. Carmella. Carmella will be champion. She will cash in successfully, whether it happens in 2017, whether it happens at the Starrcade show tomorrow that WWE's not gonna broadcast on the network. That's a stupid idea. Whether it's then or whether it's in 2018, sometime maybe they won't ever cash in a Mania, but they might ever cash in at the Rumble or something like that. She will be champion. She will be champion for at least a couple months. I don't know if she's a long-term champion. I'm not saying Carmella's ready to be champion, but she's getting really, really good heat on. She's getting really good heat by being a really good heel, and she's different. She's a little bit different as far as like other women or whatever, and that's another thing that Valena Tweets talked about, but also I'm going to talk about when it comes to her and Liv Morgan's characters. You got to change up one of them, because they're way too similar. Way, way too similar. But Carmella will be champion at least into a bit of 2018. Unless they decide to suddenly just have her unsuccessfully cashing in. And at this point, sorry, they're going to have her successfully cashing in. Hopefully on Charlotte, because Charlotte doesn't need to be the champion that much. Hopefully they do that. Hopefully Carmella can improve and have some really good success. Now we go to Charlotte. Now just what I said about Carmella, Charlotte will be champion again in 2018. She will not go into Mania, especially if they go with a Charlotte Ronda Rousey match, which that's not a good idea. The bloom's out the rose on Ronda Rousey coming to WWE. I mean, hopefully, I wish her all the best. I wish her success, and I hope she does well. I'm glad she seems to have her head on straight, and she isn't as nearly as depressed as she was after her first loss to Holly Holm. Or her first loss ever, when she lost to Holly Holm. Hopefully it works out and she really, really wants it, and they can use her as an attraction, not on everyday TV, but use her as an attraction on some, Raws, but some pay-per-views, or some SmackDowns and some pay-per-views. They'll probably have her on Raw. But Charlotte will be champion. She will be booked I don't want to say booked like a god, but she will be, or like a goddess. Because she's not the goddess, Alexa Bliss is, if we're going to play up the gimmicks here. But Charlotte will be champion at least once, if not twice more, in 2018. She will break her father's record of 16 title reigns by 2020 at this rate. But as long as she can make the title relevant, as long as they put her in fresh feuds, change things up and everything, I'm all for Charlotte being champion. But let's give other people a chance also. Let's not just keep it on Charlotte. Now we go to Lana. Lana's not being a wrestler anymore. thankfully. I know they tried. She tried. Great. She's athletic. It didn't work. It did not work at all. Have her be a manager for Tamina or a few other heels. Have her work with Ruby Riot's crew. I mean, why not? Have her work with that. It's like, I mean, she'd be a really good manager for that, even though Ruby Riot's a decent enough talker. Liv's okay. Sarah Logan, haven't really heard Sarah Logan talk much. But Lana, as long as Rusev is still in the company, Lana will be safe. And vice versa. As long as Lana's in the company, Rusev will be safe. They're kind of a package deal, even though they're separate right now, despite being on the same brand. That's what makes no damn sense to me. If Lana was on Raw, I would get it. I mean, and I guess maybe they didn't want to separate him. Maybe that was like a clause where they said, we'll leave if we're separated. And WWE said, okay, but you're not going to be able to be in the same storyline. So Lana's just going to be a manager. She shouldn't be released. She's got a purpose. Make her drop the stupid fucking Russian accent, though. Have her do her normal voice. You did it with Kofi with the Jamaican thing. Suddenly, hey, wait, Kofi, weren't you just Jamaican a second ago? Have her do that. And Liv Morgan. Liv will get chances. She used to date Enzo. I guess her and Carmella don't like each other, which, knowing how Carmella and Big Cass are dating and Big Cass and Enzo are close and stuff like that, that doesn't surprise me. And shout out to Evelina Tweets for talking about that on her latest video. And I'm going to plug that because she's a really cool person that deserves more attention and stuff like that. I'm also going to take a moment, though, to shout out at WWE NXT Guy, at WrestleRant, and various others that have their YouTube channels. Keep being awesome, guys. Anyway, Liv Morgan. Liv seems likable. Liv tries. Liv has plenty of energy. I don't give two shits about her character. I don't even care that much for Carmella, but Carmella's at least a decent performing heel. Liv, I just don't care for. Liv as a heel could be interesting. I just don't care about her character. Her character is very vanilla to me. If she gets a chance to flesh out her character as a heel, great. And I hope that works out. I hope she gets opportunities. She seems likable and seems like she really, really wants to work hard. And then we go to Maria Kanellis. Now I know she's not a wrestler. And she's currently pregnant. Her and her husband Mike are going to be expecting their first baby, and good. I hope the kid, I hope there's no complications. Kid grows up healthy and everything. They can have a happy, successful life. Happy, loving, successful life together. Hopefully that's the case. When Maria does come back to TV in 2018, which likely will happen. I'm not sure exactly when Maria did get pregnant. I know it was a few months ago. Whenever she does come back to TV, which will be sometime in 2018, I feel. Keep her as a manager, keep her with Mike, this kind of stuff. It would be it would be nice to keep her on TV. Have her back on TV and everything. She doesn't need to wrestle. She really doesn't. She improved once she got out of WWE, but she doesn't need to wrestle anymore. So just keep her as a manager, kind of same as Lana. Now, Naomi. I hope Naomi gets chances. Because Naomi does botch at times. She's a little too energetic, and there's nothing wrong with that. She's got a cool entrance. It's different. I mean, I'm a little over her entrance, but she does put passion into it. She is very athletic and does very good moves, and is a great spokesperson for young black, an inspiration for young black women and young black boys and everything. And that's great. I don't know if Naomi's going to be champion again in 2018, but hopefully she's featured in some good feuds. I wouldn't be opposed to her being champion again, but it might have to wait till 2019. I mean, I don't think she should be a one-time, even though she's a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion technically. I think that she should possibly move to Raw sometime in 2018. You give her a chance with that title, I'm all for that. But if she stays on SmackDown, like if they put the Usos on Raw, and they got to move Naomi to Raw. But if they have Naomi stay on SmackDown and Usos stay on SmackDown, then Naomi's probably not going to see gold till 2019. But hopefully she's featured in some good feuds. She is a good enough worker to have some good matches, even though she botches at times. Everybody does. It's a sport where that'll happen, regardless of how good you are. Now, Natalya. I fear Natalya is going to be a jobber to the stars now. They gave her that one title reign where she Just lost it to Charlotte recently. I don't want that to be the case because I love Natty. I love Natty. Absolutely love Natty. I think Natty's great. Not just because she follows me on Twitter. I'm still amazed by that, even though I follow her and I'm really overwhelmed. I'm just surprised she does, but it's really cool. Natty's a great person. Natty seems like a great person. Is really, really technically sound in the ring. Has gotten better on promos. And hopefully can get gold, but they might have to put Natty on Raw. They might have to switch up a lot of these women, have Natty on Raw, and then you might get her a chance to be champion. But then she's almost in the Mickie James-like role of putting over stars. You know, younger talent. And that's not saying Natty's old. And that's not even saying Mickey's old. I mean, Mickey's almost 40, but that's nothing against that. Natty, I think, is 32, 30. I think she's 33. I think she's 33. But anyway, Natty hopefully will get a chance to succeed big time, whether she stays on SmackDown or goes to Raw. And Nikki Bella is listed on the SmackDown Live roster, so we're just going to go with that. I don't want her to come back to the ring. I don't want Nikki or Brie to come back to the ring. Unfortunately, they probably are. Look, it's their career, it's their life. They can do what they want. I just had no desire to see the Bellas back in the ring. Why the hell would I want... I had no desire to see the Bellas come back in 2013. Why the hell do I want to see them come back now? Whatever. Hey, good. If Nikki wants to come back, okay, whatever. I just don't care. She'll probably be champion again if she comes back. That's one thing. Even if she can't do a full-time schedule. Now, Ruby Riot's ceiling's very high on her. Very likable, talented, great look. The whole goth tattoos thing. That's a good look. She's not the first woman in wrestling to do stuff like that. Daphne and a few others. But Ruby Riott, who was Heidi Lovelace on the Indies, at least I hope I pronounced that name right, she is very, very good. Very good. She's very good live, too. I want to say that much. She is really good, and I hope gets a chance to really succeed, because Ruby really seems like she wants it and wants to get better and is very, very good in the ring. She's very good in the ring, and she's getting a lot better adapting to WWE's style. Her style was great before. I always had a little bit of her work on the indies, but she was very good. Allowed to go a little more balls out. Ruby is good, and I hope gets a chance to have SmackDown Women's Gold. You might say, oh, I'm wanting everybody to be champion. No, I'm not wanting everybody to be champion. It's just I have quite a few favorites, and I would like to see them get success. Ruby being champion is much more likely than, say, somebody like Becky Lynch or Natty or Naomi. And that's nothing against Becky, but I don't know if they're going to give her the championship again. And now we go to Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan, don't know a ton about her. Was impressed enough with her, with a little bit of time she had in Mae Young Classic. Hopefully she gets a chance to do well. Seems likable. I think she's pretty. I mean, that's just, for what it's worth. I like that, it's like, okay, she's a little easy on the eyes, and I'm not knocking her. I'm just saying that's the case. Sarah Logan, Sarah Logan really will hopefully get to build herself up on SmackDown. I don't think she'll be champion before 2019, and probably not till maybe they moved her to Raw or something. I would have actually kept her in NXT and called somebody else up, but hey, it's fresh, cool, not going to complain. Tamina, release her. Sorry, Tamina's almost 40. And that's not saying that's old, but Tamina, what has Tamina done in years and years past that has been really good? I mean, when she came in with the Usos, it was kind of cool, and then that was it. And she's been often injured. She hasn't really done all that well. She's managed to somehow stay injury-free most of 2017. I just don't care about. I just don't care about her. I don't want anybody to be released, but it's just to me at this point, what can you do? I say just release her, but whatever. They like her. Okay, cool. If she serves a purpose, fine. What's her ceiling in 2018? I don't know. Not get injured, and don't make her champion for the love of God. Whatever you do. Now I'm going to move to NXT. I'm just going to go a little long in this video, but the NXT roster, because I went a little short on this. We got a few women on here, and some of these women, again, may not be part of NXT much longer. You got Aaliyah. I don't want her to be released. I just don't think that... I don't see her lasting in WWE past the age of 25, 26. I just don't. I think she's 20, 21 now. She's improved. But the thing is she wasn't really that good to begin with, so improving isn't really saying much. Aaliyah's never going to be NXT Women's Champion. There's no way. Unless they go on like a 6 to 8 month build and she suddenly finds like, worlds of ability, she's not going to be the NXT Women's Champion. She could be serviceable, maybe he could get better, but I don't see she doesn't have a very high ceiling. And I will be right back with my thoughts on everybody else. Alright folks, short break, and I am back with my thoughts on the rest of the NXT roster, the NXT women's roster. Talking about the entire NXT roster might take a while. Bianca Belair. The hair whip thing is cool at the same time, but it's very gimmicky, and it's a novelty. It's going to wear off very, very quickly. My opinion. She's a very good worker for only having been in the business a very short time. She did very well in the Mae Young Classic. And she is a top-tier athlete and really can deliver some money performances. I hope that she gets a big chance to succeed in NXT and on the main roster because I think that there's a pretty high ceiling on there. Just the hair whip thing. I mean, hair whip thing's sort of marketable, but to me it's overly gimmicky and it's a novelty. She's more than that. Hopefully, the announcers and other people get to focus on that and realize she is much more than just a hair whip. Because we're not going to do the Willow Smith whip my hair back and forth because that song was an abomination of God, or on God. It was just bad. It was terrible. And in fact, I will actually at some point do, and just cheap plug here, a top 10, top 10 or top 20 least favorite songs ever. And number one might surprise you. But anyway, Bianca Belair. Billie Kay. I'm going to put Billie Kay and Peyton Royce together. Not in that way, you sick freaks. They've been best friends for years. Great. Billie Kay has a really good running boot and a really good discus clothesline. And it has the size and everything that WWE may love. Peyton does have the personality more and was trained in Lance Storm's wrestling school. And I'm just going on stuff I know, stuff I studied up a little bit. Peyton seems like more of the star, but I'm not going to say Billie's as far behind other women. Is she behind Peyton? Yes. Are they a better duo than they would be separate? Yes. Peyton would flourish a lot more than Billie might on her own. But I think Billie's got a good ceiling as a single star. But keeping Billie and Peyton together, not just in NXT, but when they're called up, at least for a year after they're called up, is a good idea. You want to separate them at some point? Okay. Which one do you turn babyface, though? Could you turn Billie babyface? That'd be another story for another day. I think Billie Kay and Peyton Royce is like, Peyton will win the NXT Women's Championship. If she doesn't win it at NXT TakeOver Philly, then have her challenge or if she doesn't win it there, she doesn't even challenge for it, have her challenge at TakeOver New Orleans. If she doesn't win it there, call her and Billie up. There isn't anything more that they can do. But I think, especially once they get on the main roster, put him on SmackDown, Peyton will be champion in 2018 if that is the case. Ember Moon, current NXT Women's Champion as of me while talking about this on the 24th of November. I hope that Ember succeeds on the main roster. I think they'll probably put her on Raw because Booker T's a commentator. Well, alleged commentator. He's actually just more a noisemaker. And not the type of noisemaker that could, help you sleep. He's more of a noisemaker that puts you to sleep. Okay, it's like droning. It's not like one that helps you sleep. It's one that will put you to sleep. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, he's saying what? What is he saying? Okay, no, he's terrible. Booker T, great wrestler, lousy commentator. They can put Ember Moon on there, and I think Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's, whichever brand they put her on, she will be champion at some point. They'll give her a Naomi-like run, unfortunately, and probably not book her all that well. But I think Ember, especially with that Eclipse, she needs another move because she's going to destroy her tailbone and stuff like that and destroy her body, hitting that every single night. Use it as an attraction for big matches, and then you have something good. Come up with another impactful finisher. You got two finishers, ways to beat the women in multiple ways, and it would work well. And it would make the Eclipse more feared. Ember, I think she's got a good 5-6 years in the business, in WWE at least. I don't know if she's going to last much beyond that, but I think she's got a good, a good chunk of years in WWE before she maybe moves on to something else. But she's got a good ceiling on her. Kairi Sane. I love Kairi Sane. Now look, it's a good thing they didn't give her the title to take over at just the most recent takeover. Because it's a good thing that they didn't. Because you don't want to follow one Japanese wrestler with another Japanese wrestler. Kairi Sane will be NXT Women's Champion by either TakeOver New Orleans or TakeOver Brooklyn 3, if they wanted to build that up for a while. Kairi is great. She's got the charisma. Does she botch? Yes. Everybody botches. Some people more than others. I just want to say that much. Kairi Sane did botch a little bit in that Fatal 4-Way, which wasn't really a good look, but she didn't take the pin, so there was that. Kairi Sane is majorly marketable, super adorable, has really good ability in the ring, has a really good character down, and is flashy enough. Now, okay, is she gonna burn out? She could burn out in a few years. She could be done by 2021. But I think that one, her and Asuka as a team need to happen. Her and Asuka as rivals need to happen whenever she comes up from NXT, which probably shouldn't be till about 2019. Late 2018, early 2019. Lacey Evans, I hope Lacey Evans gets every opportunity she can earn. Because she's great. She's great. Great story. Great story, being in the military and stuff like that. Really good mother, you can tell in interviews. Lacey Evans may only have she may get a championship run, maybe not in NXT. She might get a championship run on Raw and SmackDown. She'll only get one though. But she will be a really good worker for a while. She's got great flexibility, great ability. She'll get better on the mic. And she's got the size. Like her and Billie Kay, if they ever separated Billie and Peyton, a year plus from now, her and Billie could be pretty good rivals or a pretty good team. We could see. But anyway, that's just a little fancy book in there. Lacey Evans, I think, has got a decent ceiling because she's got really good ability and she's likable. Nikki Cross, when Sandy's called up, Nikki's going up. I like Nikki. And I think as far as being kind of a Daphne-like character, I think it could work really, really well for her. And I think that I'm not sure Nikki's going to win the championship while in NXT. Because at this point, I think they would have given it to her to have her have a championship along with Sandy, having the tag team championships. I think Sandy could be called up after Mania, but they might wait until after TakeOver Brooklyn 4. But either way, when Nikki's called up, Sandy needs to go to Raw, and Nikki needs to just tear it up. Her and Asuka had a barn burner of a match, Falls Count Anywhere women's match for the NXT Women's Championship, which was wonderful. It was on the June 13th, 2017 edition of NXT TV, and it was really good. Nikki Cross can really wrestle. She's super likable if you hear any of her interviews, and she's good in the ring. Good in the ring, different style, different look. Really think the ceiling could be high for her, hopefully. And now we go to Zelina Vega, who has not wrestled yet, but has hit some moves, recently getting more involved in the ring in Andrade Cien Almas' matches. People that watched Impact Wrestling, TNA, years ago, will remember that she was in the ring. And she's good. She is good. She is really good in the ring. So I hope that they maybe have her and Andrade in some mixed tag matches, this kind of stuff. They get Zelina in the ring a little more because if she wants to wrestle, they want to get her in the ring. They got a marketable Latin star for a while. Marketable. And she's money. She's a money performer for years. NXT Women's Champion, very possible. Hell, they could have Zelina suddenly challenge and beat Ember for the title at TakeOver Philly. And then you could have her and Andrade as dual champions. That's a pretty good idea. Especially if Andrade's only going to have the title for just a few months. I don't know if he is. That would be pretty cool. Nothing against Peyton Royce or anybody else, but it's like, hey, you want to strike while the iron's hot. Zelina in the ring. Might work. But anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Now, that's just women that are featured on the pages. There's obviously plenty of women from the Mae Young Classic that either have been signed and weren't featured or other stuff like that. But what are some women that you would like to see WWE sign that aren't currently signed? One's from the Mae Young Classic. One's from other companies. leave in the comments. Like, share, subscribe also. And again, shout out to Evelina Tweets for inspiring me to do this video. Again, check out her video, really, really good. And also check out the videos by WWE NXT Guy and at WrestleRant on Twitter. Really cool people. Anyway, this is Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin, and I will see you all soon.